when you think about marketing, you have to start thinking about a shift in how that looks. 10 years ago, 15 years ago, even 20 years ago, things didn't look the same when it came to marketing. Realtors could put their listings into a magazine, and that could be enough to get their name noticed. They could also put their name on a billboard, and that could be the thing that gets them noticed. But the things that we have to do today, as I said, are not going to be the same things that we could do or have done even yesterday. So I'm huge on marketing. I definitely make sure I put a lot of my time and effort into making sure entrepreneurs like yourself, small business owners, and even realtors make sure that they make an impression in the market. Because what you have to do now is you have to use the internet to the best of your abilities and use social media smart and effectively, since it costs you nothing. So tonight's discussion is going to be a nice discussion, an interview with Anthony Hardge. Now, some people you come in contact with and the synergy is right there simply because you have like things that you have in common. You know, there's certain things that we have in common. And this particular gentleman, we clicked into, because we're in the same circles. A lot of the times when you're running in the same circles, you talk the same language, you know the same people, and you know the inspiration is there to help a lot of people. So I love the fact that he is a photographer, he is a videographer, helping a lot of people just like you, small business owners, busy creators, help with their marketing. You've got to learn how to find your ideal client, and he is the one that's going to help you find that. Not only is he in front of the camera, he's also behind the camera as well, helping other entrepreneurs show themselves better on how they can be a better videographer as well. So no better gentleman to talk a little bit more about social media and how it can help your business and how you can make more money than Mr. Anthony Hardge. Are you there?
I am.
Did I roll out the carpet enough for you?
That was amazing. I appreciate that. Yeah, a lot of just what Lorie said. Just understanding that how marketing is changing and how we have to be able to adapt, right? Like we know, like think about how much you use your phone, period, right? In general, in every single day life, and you realize that everybody's doing the exact same thing, right? So it's weird if we try to market not using the same thing that we're on, right? If we know that our clients are on their phones, why don't we actually create content to speak to them while they're already using their phone? We already know that they're going to be there for large sums of part of the day, right? And if we utilize that, we create content that's going to not only be content that converts, but content that gets their attention, content that lets them know who we are, what we do, and what we're trying to help them with, then it's real easy for us to bring those clients to us in any facet of what we're trying to do for our business.
Got it. Yep. So that's the main thing we're going to talk about, is going to be about the internet, you know, and it's because a lot of times, Anthony, people are scared, they're nervous, and it's something new, and I get it. So for you, let's kind of reel it back. You're not 50 years old. You're not 70 years old. How old are you?
I'm 21.
He's 21 years old. So we're talking fresh content. And so I want to jump right into that. You're in the Florida area and you are a photographer. So let's talk a little bit more about that first, because that's where it kind of started. Talk a little bit about that on your day-to-day work.
Yeah. So, kind of like what got me into it, or
Wild photography.
Yeah. So photography and videography was something that was something I was always passionate about. I started doing it. I picked up the camera when I was like 17. But I've always watched, like, my family used to watch movies and films a lot, right? When I was growing up, and I always wondered, like, how did he die, but he didn't really die? Right? Like, how did they do this special effect thing and then all that other stuff? And I realized that it didn't have to be something I just wondered about. I could actually learn how to do these particular things and be able to create a story and make somebody evoke the same emotion that or different emotions out of people, right? So that kind of stuff right there was what put me into film school, and I started learning that kind of stuff. And then I realized that, like, I was getting so good that people were starting to pay me for it. But then I was like, okay, then I started getting to the point where I wanted to start being able to understand how I can scale my own business and have control instead of just people reaching out to me. And I realized that I didn't know business enough. So that's when I met my first mentor, learned that kind of stuff. He taught me the business of my industry. And then I realized that marketing was such a big aspect, because you can be the best at what you do, but if nobody knows what you do, then it doesn't matter.
Right.
So being willing to get in front of the camera, being willing to show people, like I said before, people what you do, who you are, and how you can help solve their problem is an essential thing. And if you're not doing it every single day, then you're wasting your day.
Yeah.
Right. Because just because you made a piece of content yesterday telling people who you are and what you do, somebody new is going to come to your account, right? Or somebody new is going to be on the internet, or you're going to be able to interact with somebody new today. But if you didn't make the content letting them know, then they missed out on the opportunity. And somebody didn't buy yesterday, but you're ruining your chances of somebody buying today.
Exactly. And that's how it works. So I remember being in real estate, and what you said was super important as far as learning the business now. Like when I got into real estate, it's about passing the test and opening doors to let people in. Then you start learning how to be a professional. And once you start learning how to be a professional, then so many more opportunities and things start to shift and fall into place. So, you know, you found it. So now you're working a little bit more in the business right now. Okay, on the business side.
Yeah. And just understanding that, I realized that I could start like not only making that amount of money that I wanted, or that I previously stated that I wanted, right? I started doubling and tripling it because of the fact that people are coming to me now. So it was no longer me doing this hustle and grind stuff and saying yes to everything because I didn't know where my next paycheck was, because that's like the hardest thing in photography and videography. You just don't, most people don't know when their next, you know.
Well, that's anybody in sales.
Right. And, I mean, that's entrepreneurship in itself, right? Like, that's the word. That's the best and the worst part, right? There's no limit on how much we can make, but it's also no guarantee. So you can put in the work and still not get paid when you sign up for this. So that, but that's the beauty of it at the same time. But then I realized that once I started doing marketing, it just changed everything, because I was starting to make the content and then letting the market tell me like what was good, what did the people want. I started listening. Then I started realizing, oh, once I collect this data, how many people are telling me that they're not getting consistent shoots, right? How many people are telling me that they have problems with their pricing? And then I started, okay, cool. Now I understand. Now I can create a system. I can scale it. Now I can see, like, I can ask them, what are they willing to invest? Right. Now I know these people. So now I can categorize them into this is this type of client. This is this type of client. And then you talk about your systems, your automation, how to funnel people into different things. And it just makes life a lot easier. And then I became more than just a photographer and videographer. Now I mentor photographers and videographers and help them. So I'm not really behind the camera anymore. I'm more in front of it. But at the same time, like, I wouldn't have even got to this point if I never like picked up the camera in the first place. And so that's like the big point, being able to not be afraid to make the content in the first place.
Right. So for someone that's just getting started, and I'm saying just started, their first year or two in the business is learning, first of all, how to do their job, you know, how to at least figure out what their job is, whether it's sales, whether it's Shopify, e-commerce, whatever that is. So talk to that person that is nervous about jumping out there, about consistency and the importance of being out there just to create something.
Yeah, I think, man, this is a great, okay, yeah. So this means so much to me. Okay, so the power of your message. Right, your message is so important, because I think a lot of times we think so much about the product, or in this case, like maybe the home that we're trying to put somebody into, right? But you know, saying this, the house sells itself, right? But when it comes to it, you have to be able to make these people feel a certain way to be able to buy this home. They know that they want this home, but you have to let them know that they need it, right? And having this message, being able to get this out every single day, because a lot of times people will buy because you're the person who sold it. Right. But if they don't know that they can work with you. Right. And so I think the big thing too is understanding that you shouldn't be afraid of like these social media platforms or anything like that, or getting your message out there. There's a couple of things. One, there is this theory that I came up with where we have two audiences. The first audience that we have is what I call a non-buying audience, right? These are normally like our friends, our family, people who are following us. Even if we make a business page and it's something separate, people are going to migrate over to that because they want to support you in any kind of way, right? And I say support because anybody gonna buy from you, right? It's your first audience though. Non-buying, you know what I'm saying?
He put family in that category. So y'all remember that when you're looking for family to buy everything that you have.
Right, non-buying. And then you have your second one, right? and this is where people get mixed up because they don't want to make content and push their what's going to help them make their money, their second audience stuff. Yeah. Like the only way you can build your second audience is if you're not afraid to sell and be okay with your first audience seeing it.
Yeah.
Right. And seeing it over and over again. I tell people you have to have an annoying grind.
Yeah.
Like your grind, you have to post every single day. And not only every single day.
Say that again for the people in the back.
Every single day. Like I said before, if you're not telling somebody how great you are, what you're offering them, how you can be a solution to somebody's problem, then you're wasting your day.
Well, what about the ones that are thinking, all right, I don't want to be on camera because my hair is messy, or I hate my voice. I hate my nose.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, so what I say to that is, I don't remember the quote, but it's done is better than perfect because perfect never gets done.
Ooh. Ooh.
Right? And it's understanding that, like, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start if you ever want to be great.
Yes.
Oh,
I believe that. I believe
right.
That.
And so
because
we really do a disservice to ourselves and what we want to achieve if we don't just give ourselves to it. Right? You don't have to be perfect. Actually, I love it because right now, like back then, the way marketing was, everything had to be perfect.
Yes.
Now,
background perfect.
It's a big push on authenticity. Yeah. Like, how authentic are you?
Yeah.
People want to buy the authentic. Mm-hmm. So it's like, if you show up and I mean, maybe you see it, maybe you haven't, but there's a lot of people that are blowing up on social media because they're just being authentic.
I love it. And I saw that most after the pandemic, that people are getting really relaxed because a lot of people weren't showing up because their hair wasn't done and all the makeup and the lashes weren't done right. But now it gave them a little bit more of a permission to come out and just say, look, my hair is messy. This is the product that I use and you should use it too. And that sells so much more because people are seeing the real you.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. So I love that. And even with houses, Anthony, there are a lot of realtors and salespeople that are out here. So for even those, you could make so much content just by taking your phone, turning it around, and let's just say you schedule 2 houses a week, and you just go in and pan the room. Here's the front of the house. Stop. Record the living room. Stop. You do that for various rooms. I would think 15 to 20 seconds is enough just to at least have one piece of content for the day. Even if Monday was the living room, Tuesday was another backyard, Wednesday was the basement, you've got enough content for 7 days a week. That could have been in that 1 or 2 houses right there. So I want you, the realtors, I really want you to start thinking, you have access to basically legally break in houses and get free content. So for the houses that are out there that look really great, you're thinking, well, I may not have a client for that, but I could get some content. I could get some content, whip out my phone, and then just go through the property that way. So even model homes, I did that a couple, like last weekend, went to a model home and I got lots of content I haven't even dropped yet.
Right. And to tag along on that, if you're, let's say not a model home, but let's say you do have a nice home, right? You don't necessarily have a client for it. You're creating content attracts, right? Yeah. So if you're creating content about that home, somebody's going to ask about it, right? You make content about it enough.
Yeah.
Right. You're going to start drawing people's attention to it. And then it's like, if you make you just have to make the right content. You have to post that right time, that right day, and you'll bring in so many people. That might be the video that blows up. Yeah, and now you have all these other people that do want to buy it. Mm-hmm. And now you made the commission off of that, but it wouldn't have been possible if you just never picked up your phone and just recorded what it was.
Yeah. So a lot of our realtors in our area, Chris Perry is one of our top guys in our area. He used Instagram to make millions. And even when he was working a full-time job, government, he used Instagram just to do reels. He was just doing reels. And so I want you to imagine, if I were to place a video right now, if I just were to place a reel of a living room, a beautiful living room, put some music behind it, and that goes out, thousands of people could see that. But how many does it take to really go to settlement with? One. It could take one person that resonated right here with, because what you're doing is you're attaching that video with emotion. Because when somebody sees that, they're like, "Ooh, look at that kitchen. Oh my gosh. And everything in that house is everything that they want or they desire. And so that could get them to make that phone call to that real estate agent. That could make them get off their butt and call the loan officer and actually start working on, I got to fix my credit. I got to start working to get there. So never think that your hair has to be done. And I understand Ari had said, look, my grandmother told me I got to show up. Yeah, I get that. But in a lot of times you will see some pages, Ari, that show no faces. So in your industry, you're in e-commerce, you never even have to really show your face. So if you were showing nails all the time, or you were showing products, or you were showing clothes, you never have to show your face. So that allows you to get permission to put that excuse up on the shelf, girlfriend. And everybody else, because I get it. There's sometimes I'm like, I'm not feeling my best to get in front of the camera, but you know what I can do? I can do a voiceover. Reels allow you to do voiceover. So if I was panning that 15 seconds in that living room or that dining room that looks so beautiful, I can at least talk over the video and no one needs to see my face. So again, we're trying to identify who that ideal client is. That is the first step, right, Anthony? Because as I'm doing coaching with a lot of individuals, the first thing is don't just market just to be marketing. You have to figure out how to get your ideal client. So talk a little bit more about how you help your how you help your clients identify their client in the first place.
Entrepreneurs, content creators, I've got something just for you. Now, I've been hearing a little bit of buzz around town that you're having a little bit of complication with social media. It's not browsing and looking at content. You're having some complications with posting on your own page. I've got you covered. I want to be able to help. So I've created Unleash the Post. These are done for you postings so that you can copy and paste the content right onto your own Facebook, Instagram page so that you can create more engagement, get more followers, and definitely get more sales. Now, I'm running just a special just for you, $1. $1. Give us a try for 1 week and you'll be able to take a look and see if this is going to work out for you. So for 1 week, it's only $1. If you plan to continue with us, $49 every single month, and you'll get the emails delivered to you once a week. If not, no obligation. You gave it a try. Nope, no obligation. But make sure you check out Unleash the Post, and we'll make sure that your postings stay fresh on your page every single week. Now, let's get back to the episode.
Yes. And I just want to tap on this one thing before I answer that question. And I just need you to remind me what that question was. So hold on to that. But I also want to submit to somebody here that today, if you would also think that the creator economy in 2022 alone is $10 billion, right? The creator economy, we just talked about reels and stuff, right? So if you don't just think about a side hustle that you can make off of just content creation. And then also think about what Lorie just said, like you don't even have to show your face if you didn't want to, right? Content creation alone, like you said, you can get paid. Like I get paid off the reels I make, right? I get paid off the content. So it's not even working with clients. It's just, I'm making money from helping Instagram keep people on the app.
Right.
So if you're making the content, think about the people who you follow. Think about the travel pages that you might follow. Think about, you know what I'm saying, whatever it is that attracts your attention. You could be the person that's making luxury videos about luxury homes. Right. And have gross a following just wanting to watch your stuff because people are looking at your page and they're like, dang, this is my dream home. Right. And you're constantly just posting dream homes. You're constantly just posting homes in your area and you're letting them know it's going to really do well. Like Instagram's a good place, but TikTok's a very beautiful place because TikTok is like another search engine. Right. So now you can also put where these homes are. Right. And so you can put this, you can say that, oh, this is in Miami, Florida, or this is in your specific area. Right. And now you're like, you can also put in the bio or, you know what I'm saying, the description, like the leasing, the, you know what I'm saying, the area, like who's selling it, the price of it, or you can even put the price in the thing, right? And just look at different ways that you can create content and actually get paid for just creating the content that you're going to create anyway.
That's right. And a lot of times people forget that those platforms, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, I don't have that up there for nothing. They actually pay you just for putting content on there. So just think about, and now shorts are another thing there where I started just to put another set of videos onto YouTube shorts. So just think about, was it under 60 seconds, right? Any video under 60 seconds, put that on there so that you can start feeding content on that platform so that you can get in position, if you want to at least get monetized on YouTube. And even with Instagram, all of those platforms are willing to pay. They just want your content. But aside from that, the ideal client, that's the question I had as far as how do you help someone figure out their ideal client? Because it could be so broad. For a real estate agent, they could say, well, I work with first-time home buyers. So what do you say to that entrepreneur or that creator that is looking to get out there, but they don't know who their client is, their ideal client?
Yeah. So when you look and you're trying to narrow down, right, your ideal client, I think the most important thing is to ask, like, I think it's I'm trying to make it real specific to y'all, but I think it's to know, like, what are the houses that you sell, right? Know that price range, because there's a certain person who's going to live in that home, right? So it takes a certain person to buy that certain house, right? And understanding, like, if these are the homes that you sell, do you need to know, like, you have to create what we call a client avatar, right? That client avatar, it has a name, it has a gender, it has a face. It's a whole person, right? Like, it might be Susan, it might be Michael for somebody. It might be, depending on, we say name the person just because it's easier to
name it whoever you want, right?
Exactly. We just say just name it because it's gonna be easier to market, right? And because when you're doing like your when you're doing your ads and stuff like that, they're going to ask you specific questions. So like if Susan is in between, 35 and 50, then you want to make sure that you're hitting in that certain area and stuff like that, and also where they live, and of course like that. But creating that client avatar is going to be essential, because it's not just knowing certain areas, but you want to know who this person actually is, because that's who we're going to talk to in every single piece of content, every single ad that we make. We want to speak to Susan every single time, because we know Susan is our ideal client.
Right. And even with that person, if you know that person is, let's say, Robert, and that doesn't mean that that's just one particular person, but ideally they are between a certain range and they like specific things. So that's what you're doing your research to make sure you stay on top of those kind of trends, to find out, well, okay, people in that age range between 30 and 55, if they're shopping between this price point, between 400 and 600,000, where do they shop? Where do they eat? Because it's not always about just linear. It's not just about real estate. Like even on my social media page, I don't just talk about real estate. I don't just talk about business. There are so many other things that touch it, because my ideal client has issues with credit. My ideal client also wants to write books. They also need to learn about business credit. So it's not just going to be one thing that you're going to be talking about. You could put some educational things on there. You could put some things, of course, that'll help them figure out how to get into the house. So you've got some entertainment things that you could certainly do. And those are the things that help keep people, especially on TikTok. It keeps them engaged. People's attention span is 3 seconds. If you don't have my attention, I'm out. So just make sure something is engaging. So finding that ideal client is first. From that point, Anthony, where do you really help them to the next point as far as, all right, marketing? I know I want to market. I found out who I want. I found out, the age range of that person and how much money they typically going to be making.
Right.
Then what?
Then, like you said, then I would figure out what are my keywords, right? What are my keywords to actually be able to reach this person, right? And so a good website for that, I'm about to put it in the chat right now. It's called Interest Insights.
Nice.
So it actually helps you identify and be able to see the amount of people on certain things. Like let's just say that you're trying to market coffee, right? And coffee is like on there, and I think it's like over 300 million people that are looking up coffee, right? Or something about coffee content wise, but you might have never thought about Caribou coffee. And you look at Caribou coffee, it's probably like 400,000, right? So you can actually get specific in each little thing. So you could be saying real estate's cool, right? But then like, what if I said real estate in this aspect, and you can actually see what are the best things in that aspect and what are like going to help you extend your reach. And
Yeah.
so that's super important. Like keywords are important because we got to know, like she said, like where do they eat, where do they shop at? Like the CEO of Lamborghini, they asked him why he doesn't make commercials, and he said because our ideal clients aren't at home watching TV.
Exactly.
Right. So it doesn't make sense for us to make commercials because they're not watching commercials.
That's true. That's true.
So it's like you gotta know, but that's why you also have to make that avatar. What do they do? What is their daily life? How long do they work? Yeah. Right? How much income do they make to be able to afford this home?
Yeah, it's not about you. It's not about what you want. You know, you can pick the brand colors and everything and make everything, but a lot of times people get stopped and they stop what they're doing because they're thinking about what they want. You will lose so much sales because you're not focusing on who that ideal person is. If that ideal person is of certain age range and you're missing the boat. So you've got to be able to study that audience. It's not about you. And a lot of times people don't even get started because they're focused on me. You're running the business, yes, but you're selling a product, you're selling a service to a particular person that doesn't matter. I remember when I was a loan officer, this was a long time ago, I was an assistant loan officer. And this was my first introduction to keep your mouth shut. It's not about you. I was an assistant loan officer. And I remember I'm in the office on a Saturday and I had to take the loan application for this customer. So she's coming in there with her son and she's telling me, I got the deal done, but we got a 2-bedroom instead of a 3-bedroom. So my big mouth, I'm just like, well, why didn't you get a 3-bedroom? Why didn't you talk to your real estate agent? Because I'm a loan officer assistant at this time. I said, well, why didn't you talk to your realtor about getting a 3-bedroom? Like, you should get what you really want. And so she said, yeah, you're right. Monday morning, my boss comes into the office and he says, come with me. He's like, your opinion doesn't matter. If she came in here and she said the deal was already done, the real estate agent had already ratified this deal. And he said, you just shook that whole transaction up because your opinion does not matter. So in that case, I'm like, you know what? Whatever you like, I love. If you like 2 bedrooms and that's what you got, then that's what I love as well, because you don't know all the work that it took on the other side to make that happen. But again, if you like snow and somebody loves 80-degree and 90-degree weather, then you respect that. That's what they like. That's what they like. And that's how you have to treat people. It's not about you. Remember, your ideal client is looking for something and are you going to be the one that's going to deliver it to them? Or it could be someone else. Yes. They could like the way you deliver it and they could hate the way you deliver it, but that's okay. You are going to be attracted to that right person.
Yeah.
But just stay consistent, do something, I've got Lester Witherspoon out here. He's a real estate agent in the Maryland, DC, Virginia market. He does a lot of lives. He does a lot of Facebook lives. So I want you to think about this. We started working together and he wasn't doing any kind of live. So basically he was a hidden agent. So that was not bringing in any extra people. Like you had mentioned, Anthony, he may say something today on Tuesday, but it may not resonate with someone until 3 Tuesdays from now, maybe 3 months from now. So the fact that some people could say, well, I did it one time, it didn't get me anything. You took a shower one time, I'm sure it didn't do anything, but you got to keep doing it over and over again. You went to the gym one time, that didn't do anything neither. It's the repetitiveness to keep you in business and for people to trust you. So I commend, the realtors, Alicia, out there, just making sure Ari out there doing their business, that they show themselves online, whether they want to or not. And we don't even know what happened, behind the scenes to make them hit record. But the fact that they did it and people are attracted to work with you, then I just say praise to you guys for doing that. And for all salespeople that are out there, just do it. Just get out there and just do it afraid. But that right person will work with you. It doesn't have to be a professional background. And this, to me, is not professional. This is fun. This is fun for me. But at the same time, I'd rather pick up the phone and just be real. Like right now. Got it? Did anybody have any questions so far? Because I know we've got some entrepreneurs in the group. Drop in the chat box, what is your industry? Because maybe we haven't covered it yet, but I want to just see who is your industry and who are you marketing to? So at least want to at least make sure that we're not out there. No, I'm not a loan officer anymore. I used to be a loan officer a long time ago. When I first got started in the business, PV, I was an assistant loan officer and then I was a loan officer. So been licensed though for 22 years as a realtor. All right. So let's hear from them. But I wanted to at least ask you, Anthony, how do you stay on top of the trends that keep moving around now?
Yeah. So I have an interesting thing with this, and I tell people this. So I think trends are, they're amazing things, right? Because they can easily boost your engagement, extend your reach out. I think too, though, the only problem I have with trends is I feel like sometimes people focus on trends so much that they lose sight of who they are.
Yeah.
Right? And the only reason why I say that is because when you push for trends so much, like imagine if you started the trend, right? More than always trying to hop on it. And
Right.
you're starting the trend, especially in your own industry, and everybody starts doing what you're doing, then you actually build and build and build and build, and it goes a lot further for you than the hopping on the trend. But for this sake, though, I would say that the best way to define the trends are, one, like I'm pretty sure most of us have seen it, but I'm gonna say it just in case we haven't. Like if you're on like Instagram, it has an arrow, right? And it lets you know that this sound is trending. The best thing that you should do is if you see that sound, think about like 3 to 5 different ways that I can make a piece of content that could just somehow flow with this, that could speak to this, right? And just use my own industry for it, right? And the reason why I say 3 to 5 is because you can, if you think about 3 to 5 different ways, then in that way, and you do that every single time, that means that you can have 3 to 5 posts every single day. And let's just say let's say you push for perfection, right? And it doesn't go out, and you come up with 5 ideas, but 2 of them just didn't work for you, right? You still have 3 ideas that could work.
That's right. And I didn't really start catching on to the trending sounds until almost like earlier this year. So I'm again, I was doing what I just said, don't do. I was picking music in Instagram when I was creating reels. I was like, oh, I like this song. Oh, I gotta play this song because it's a popular song, or I like something from the past.
Yeah.
Guys, you got to be strategic. Instagram has these trending sounds. And if you look in these videos, and if you just pay attention to the videos, look at some of the reels tonight. And if you look at the bottom left hand of the screen, if there's a little arrow pointing up, that is a trending sound. That means that is a popular sound that's going to rank your video up higher than it would just putting your regular song on there. So just think about, let me be strategic. All right, if I've got these houses, I've got these products, I've got, these nails that I'm showing all over, these t-shirts that I'm trying to show off, how can I get my viewership bigger to more people? Only use trending sounds. And I'm sure you don't have to be married to the music, but you do want to be married to the results. So try to focus on looking at what those trending sounds look like. So that you can get more viewerships. Yes.
So what does that look like? Can you show us real quick?
I was about to show you. I was about to get a screenshot of what it looks like.
Entrepreneurs, content creators, I've got something just for you. Now, I've been hearing a little bit of buzz around town that you're having a little bit of complication with social media. It's not browsing and looking at content. You're having some complications with posting on your own page. I've got you covered. I want to be able to help. So I've created Unleash the Post. These are done for you postings so that you can copy and paste the content right onto your own Facebook, Instagram page so that you can create more engagement, get more followers, and definitely get more sales. Now, I'm running just a special just for you, $1. $1. Give us a try for 1 week and you'll be able to take a look and see if this is going to work out for you. So for 1 week, it's only $1. If you plan to continue with us, $49 every single month, and you'll get the emails delivered to you once a week. If not, no obligation. You gave it a try. Nope, no obligation. But make sure you check out Unleash the Post, and we'll make sure that your posting stay fresh on your page every single week. Now, let's get back to the episode.
Because I figured somebody was going to ask. Trending sound. Let's look at it up. Who was that to answer that? Ari?
Yes, that was me.
Hey, Ari. All right, let's get you showing. Let's see if I can show this up. I need a good visual. Okay, here's one. All right, let me show you. So when you're on Instagram, when you're looking at people's reels, I want you to look, you see where this blue arrow is? You see where this arrow is pointing? There's an arrow pointing upwards, like towards the right. Look at the videos that you look at and pay attention to see if that looks like that. That has a trending sound behind it. You see it?
Yeah, I see it. I see it.
Mm-hmm. So from this point, when you see that, then you want to go over here. I'm sorry, you see this little square where my circle is?
Yes.
That's that trending sound. That's where you can save it. So you're going to hit on there. The next screen that's going to pop up looks like this, and you're just going to hit save audio. And now it's saved it to your phone. So whenever you go into Reels, it's under your saved recordings.
Right.
So that's what you use for your next video, and put that audio on top of it. And you'll see.
If I can real quick, will you put your mouse on the original video real quick, Lorie?
Right here.
First one, not that one though. The one that says go to your right, the first one on the top left corner.
Oh, another one?
No, I'm saying, like, you see where it has all the videos? You see that one? It says like 12 million.
We're on the same screen.
Yeah,
right.
you see, okay, you got your mouse, right?
Yeah,
now just move it to the right. Just move it to the right. Right there. Boom. Right. Yeah. And when I want to say this, and this is what I was talking about earlier, when it comes to actually making the trend, when you use, like, if you're let's just say you make a really good video, right? And you pick the sound that works perfectly with that video. This is what I'm saying. If you make multiple things, like if you just gave yourself a limit, let's just say, like, because for me, like, one is minimum. You, like, one is just to get into the game, right? If you want to play the game, you got to post at least once a day. But if you were to push yourself and say, if I can just post 3 times a day, this is what it could look like for you. All right. So if you post one, and here's a concept, one could be for you, and the other one is to play the game. Right. So one could be, let's say Lorie was posting a video and it still had to do with her industry, right? Or just being her, because she does more than just, you know what I'm saying, on her page, she does more than just that. But it could be speaking to that so people know who you are, and it builds more trust and authenticity when we're doing like that. And then we have another one that's going to play the game, right? And we got to understand what Instagram wants. Instagram is just, Instagram is going to push any video that's getting a lot of views because it's going to keep people on the app. Right? That's the whole goal. So if you make a video that's good and you use a good sound that flows with that video, if you see, oh, she's backing out of it, I want you to go back in, because I just want them to see.
I was going to look for another one.
Okay, yeah. Oh, because it's kind of blurry. Yeah. I just wanted them to see, like, if you look at the first video, you'll see that one has, she had to go a little bit deeper, but I can already tell it had like 12 million views versus everything else that's kind of like in the thousands. And that's only simply because that's the original one. So everybody's using that person's video. They're using that sound that person used, right, to create their videos. So every single time they use that sound, it's going to make their video go up more and more and more and more, right? And so if you're the person who's the trendsetter, instead of always trying to ride the wave, then you're always going to get, you know what I'm saying? It's always going to help you in the end. Now, of course, like I said before, building your stuff up to, you know what I'm saying, use the play the game too, right? Play the game. But at the same time, if you're always creating stuff that it's going to be able to play the game and to help you, then you can't lose. But it's hard to do that it's like saying this. If I say, okay, how many times, if I give you a minute to hit a home run, right? and you only swing once, then you got to hope that you're really like that to hit it out of the park. But if I say you have a minute and you keep swinging, like I'm gonna swing until the whole minute's up because I'm gonna give myself more opportunities. That's the same thing in posting. That's the same thing in giving people opportunities to buy from you. That's the same thing in showing out as many houses as you possibly can. It's the same thing as anything, right? You want to give yourself as many opportunities to win as possible. And so this is how we do that. This is how, if I post 5 times a day and I hit that I got this going on, I got a challenge going on, I got a mentorship going on, I got a Patreon, I got a YouTube, I got this, and I give you that every single day. I don't give myself no option to lose, because you might not go for it today, but 2 weeks from now, you might have heard me say something that was impactful, right? And you're going to work with me because of that. Or you might go to my YouTube because you realize that I'm giving you good knowledge, all these different things, but you have to keep creating the opportunities for people to learn from you, from people to buy from you. So that's the same thing. Like if you want to be successful in creating like content that converts, is having annoying grind and continuously pushing your message.
He gave you permission. He said, you got to be annoying.
Got to be.
You got to be annoying. I mean, there's no Chick-fil-A just on one corner. They're there for a reason, just to invoke, you want fries. You want a chicken sandwich. So that repetitiveness is everywhere. You may not pay attention to how the marketing is done, but you've got to pay attention to your business. Where are the sales? Where do you want it? And then understand, I got to remove my personal feelings from how come I'm not posting. Internet's not going anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. So you have to, as Anthony said, play the game. When you're playing the game, that just simply means, let me find out what's trending so that I can make money like them. Because if you start out, again, you may not have paid attention to it because you're looking at videos, you might not have had your eyes focused on what is important. Next time you take a look at Reels tonight, as I said, I want you to take a look and I want you to understand there's money on the gram. So here's what you're going to do. Take a look at the videos, look at the very left corner. And look, some of them are trending, some of them are not. But I have a whole bunch of them just saved up so that when I'm ready to go back in to put content on top of it, the music is already there. So first step is go to Instagram, go to Reels, and then just start browsing. Now you got permission because Instagram can be your work. You can do work for 30 or 45 minutes on the gram because now you're actually doing research. How about that? Now you're actually doing research. So you're going on here, go to the very bottom, take a look. If there is an arrow, pick that sound. How you pick that sound and save it is you go over here to the right-hand side. There's a little logo. It looks like a little logo box over here. That's where that music is basically coming from. Hit that. The next screen that's going to come up looks very similar to this. It's giving you the audio, how many million people have already liked it, and then some other similar videos that have used that sound already. And as you can see, these have thousands of views on it. So imagine if you had thousands of people looking at your product or service, there's a better shot of you getting what you need from the gram. All right. And you did all of this for free. And how you save it is once you get onto this page, you're going to get up here and just hit this button up here where it says save audio. Now it's saved. So if anybody needs to have any one-on-one with Anthony or myself, make sure that you all are reaching out so that you can get this together, because it could be one thing that could turn things around for 2023 for you. You don't have to be a master of all of them, but if you do need help with social media, you need to make sure that you use the resources that I bring you so that you can make sure, hey, Lorie, I don't have time for social media postings. Raise your hand and make sure we can have that conversation about you need a social media manager. Maybe you just need somebody to post for you. So I have a social media manager. I don't post everything on my page. And there's not that I can't, because I used to do it for other people. It's just, you've got to spend your time wisely. And if you can dump the content into a Google Drive or something, Dropbox, that's all the social media manager needs. They just need that content, and they can sometimes create their own to help you stay more visible in front of your ideal client. All you need to do is answer the phone, answer the calls, answer the emails, and answer the inquiries that come in based off of that. Was there a question in here? The Park Heights strut. I haven't even seen that one yet. I haven't even seen that one yet.
It's trending, so you should have saw it by now.
I probably did. I just didn't know that was the name. Is that a trend? What is it? A trending dance or what? Or a song?
It's a dance.
Okay, I'll take a look. I probably have seen it. I'm sure I have. All right. But again, that the way you're going to make the money is you've got to remove a lot of your personal ish. Okay. And for many websites that I go to, some of them don't even show their faces. And you can be that. If you don't want to show your face, that's fine. But remember, you're in sales for a reason. You chose this path. So you've got to be able to pivot and make those minor adjustments. But if you do just want to have a faceless page, you can still do that. And still people are making thousands of dollars with their brand that way. Okay. Right. So even with photography, let's backtrack on photography. You said that you were working more taking photos for individuals. Let's talk a little bit more about this challenge that you have coming up. Who is that going to serve?
Yeah, so I have a 3-day creator marketing challenge, right? And I want everybody to realize when I say creator, it doesn't mean it doesn't mean like photographers and videographers. It means that it really means all of us, right? We all need to be creators. Mm-hmm. We all need to be not only understanding how to make content that converts, but we need to know how to identify who our ideal client is, but also be able to understand the tools and stuff that's in our resources that we can use to be able to do so. Right. And I want to just make sure that I tap this out. I didn't want to cut Lorie off because she was giving y'all game. But we talk a lot about how much like that there's money on Instagram and there's money on the gram, right? But like we don't necessarily say how much, but you can actually make up to $35,000 a month on here. Right. So when we say create content, when I tell you that the creator economy, that's why I make it for creators, right? Because everybody needs to be creating. The creator economy is $10 billion. Like that's not play money. Right. And you can be getting your piece of the pie, but if you're not creating content, you're immediately telling yourself that you can't, and you're not giving yourself the opportunity to. Right. So that's what this 3-day challenge is going to be all about, creating the content that converts for us. And in this, essentially, I'm going to show you like the intro into marketing, like why you should be marketing in the first place, the 3 types of marketing that there is. And I'll get that to you right now. Is organic, collaborative, and then paid. What paid is ads, right? And then being able to, like I said, like understanding what is your industry, who has the problem that you're going to give the solution to, right? And then knowing what your products and services are and how to actually test out ads and stuff like that to the market. I tell people the best thing you should do is you got to know that it works, right? And the first thing you should know how it works is to do it like how Instagram gives you the opportunity, and all these places, right? All these apps give you the opportunity to do it, and it's free, right? If I make something free and I get interaction from it, and people are asking me questions and this, and this, then I know that this has value, right? And we call it like a soft launch, essentially. You want to do like a soft launch and see if people are even going to interact with this thing anyway. And then you can bring it into like, okay, now I'm going to move it, or now I can add money behind it and push it in these different aspects, right? And then day 2 is going to be about knowing your target, right? And who's your ideal client, mastering your message, having an annoying grind, creating opportunities, right? Have the opportunity, create the landing page, and then build the awareness for it, right? And then day 3 is going to be entering the market. And I'm going to show you how to create lead magnets where you can give people information for free and bring them in, collect their data or data, however you want to say it. And you can help them in that aspect, depending on what your industry is, Facebook ads and other kind of stuff. And we're going to go through that in 3 days.
So when is this challenge?
It's going to start December 5th. But I have a link where people can sign up and go ahead and get into the waiting list, and then you get more information from there.
So we need that.
For sure. I'll drop that in the chat.
Okay. So drop that in the chat. And then I just want to talk a little bit about that. So how much is the December 5th through the 7th? That's right before the holidays. So y'all should be treating yourselves certainly for that. How much is the 3-day challenge?
Yeah. So the general admission is $47, and then the VIP is only $97.
So everybody on here is basically VIP. So they didn't even hear general.
Right.
Because they don't do anything general. So $97 for VIP. What do they get more?
Right. So in the VIP, hold on, I'm trying to find this link. But in the 90 set, well, in the VIP, you get an hour more of access. You get the replays too, to the stuff too. So just in case you can't make it,
exactly,
don't even worry about it. You can still watch it, get this game.
Right.
At the same time, though, I believe that the reason why I offer the extra hour, right? So it's going to start at 7 Eastern Standard, and then the general gets in at 8, is because of, one, the benefit of being able to ask me questions and stuff like that, which is going to be very important for day 2 and day 3, because once I get the game on day 1, if you have any questions, stuff like that, when we get back in the call, you can ask me, all that kind of stuff.
It's so just like getting on an airplane, right? When you board, who gets on the plane first?
Right.
First class. First class gets to sit in. They get to talk a little bit. They get to get drinks, and they get more treatment. They even get blankets up front. So I want you all to always position and posture yourself and not even hear general going forward. I'm so serious about that, because it's very easy just to get an Uber, a regular. No. Go different. Uber Black, Uber Luxury. It costs a little bit more, but look at the value that you're getting out. You all are looking to make impressions to millions of people around the world. And if you're looking as a real estate agent, as an e-commerce specialist, real estate, life insurance, whoever you are, you've got to make sure, first of all, that you remember who you are. And if you're always choosing general type services, then that's the type of service that you always are going to be giving out. So always elevate yourself to remember Uber Black. Lorie said Uber Black. No. I know it's $20 more, but I deserve that type of treatment. I want you to smell what that car smells like. I want you to smell what that truck smells like, rather than getting in the back of the Honda Civic. Okay. Love Honda Civics, but there is a difference in value on how you treat yourselves, how you treat yourself first, and then it exudes onto how you treat, how you want others to expect and treat your business. You want others to pay you VIP, right? You want, hello? 100%. You want others to pay you VIP. So let's not focus on general first. So never that. So $97 for VIP that allows you access. That is worth the money right there, because a lot of challenges that I've been on, I will pay that just so I can make sure I can raise my hand, because I have questions before we get started. And before he opens it up to everyone else is not going to have access to even ask questions. So you came there for a reason. Make sure that you are coming to get at least one piece of great information from that talk. So December 5th through the 7th, I'll make sure that I get this link also in the replay. If you're in the replay, then you'll make sure that I'll get this out by Thursday. And yeah, $97. We're not even going to talk about general, no more, ever. Okay. Any other thing I also wanted to share with marketing? Are there any sites that people can go to, Anthony? I know I'm just kind of catching you off. Any particular places where people can go to get some kind of inspiration for their reels and stuff?
Yeah. Elaborate, say it one more time. Is there any places
where can they get some inspiration? Are there websites, or where would you advise someone to get inspiration, to get content ideas?
I would say, okay, so I'd say how I get it personally. And how I get it personally is that I would look at other people in my industry that are doing it at a high level, because success leaves clues, right? So if you're looking at other people and how they're doing it at a high level, you don't have to copy them, but you can see what works, right? And like she said before, you have to do these things with intention, and you have to make sure that you're being strategic about how you're consuming content now. So now you're not even consuming it as a normal consumer. You're looking at it in the eyes of a producer, right? Because you're like, okay, I'm looking at this content, but the only reason why I'm spending time on this content is because I'm about to recreate it. And I'm going to find out all the ways that it's working, that he or she is able to convert off of this. And I'm going to implement it into my business.
Yeah.
Right.
Touch on it. I'm
going to look at the comments and see what are people saying, right? I look at marketing so much. I look at ads all the time, right? And I see so many people. And if you think about, this is perfect. I'm glad you asked me that question, because it's a great thing to hit on. If you look at a lot of ads, people don't like being sold to on social media, right? Because it's a place of escape, right? We just want to consume. We don't want to, you know what I'm saying? We don't want somebody to sell anything to us. So you actually hit a lot of friction if you try to sell somebody in this traditional salesman way. So you have to create content that's going to give out and have your message in it and provide that you have the solution without it being like, hi, are you a yada, 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 I offer X, right? And I can solve your Y, right? That nobody wants that. I look at comments all the time and they're like scam or yada,
right.
They don't
They're being
care.
silly. They're being too salesy.
Too salesy. They want, like I said before, being authentic is priceless these days, right? And if you create content that's also displaying that and just being real, and not coming off where you want to help somebody, not sell something.
There you go. I like that. Help them. And remember, that comes from that emotion. So for those that are in the, let's just say, real estate, one thing I did have to learn that, Anthony, and one thing I found is that people are more attracted to how something makes them feel. So for example, let's say I was just doing a pan of a front of a house or even just the backyard with a pool. Can you see the only text that I'm going to say is, I'm not putting the address in there. I'm not putting how much the house is. I'm not giving the facts.
Yeah.
I'm giving a story because that's going to sell what we're looking for. Facts tell, now that's cool. That's what you do in the inbox. Hey, how much is that house? Give them the facts later. But the story is what's going to connect them to here. All right. So let's just say you're panning the backyard with the backyard barbecue or the backyard with a pool. Can you see your next birthday party here? Right. ... Right? That's an emotion. Or let's just say for Ari, she does lashes or she does nails, right? If you're just doing like this, right? It could be a quick glance of the nails or it could be eyelashes. All you have to say is, where is she going tonight? You know, anything that to invoke a story behind it. It doesn't have to be everything link in my bio. We're tired of that. You know, I do it, but on probably every 3 posts may I do it because I want to make sure that people are getting connected to that information. So try to look at your content and create a story behind it a little bit better. And it doesn't even have to be long, but just take a look at, as Anthony was mentioning, take a look at other people's pages that you respect. You're like, I like that. Then just take a look and mimic. What are they doing and what can I do? This is the reason why having a social media manager is important, because a lot of times when you let them know who your ideal client is, who, you know, whatever your service is, they can create those stories that you may need help with. So make sure, let's connect. If you do need to have a 15-minute free consultation with me to go over those contacts that you need to help pull your business together. I don't want you doing this by yourself. And you really shouldn't be having to do this by yourself. You really want to be focusing on your craft. You are the creator. You're a badass at whatever you're doing. And you want to make sure you stay in your lane and you're focusing on the business and you're not focusing on every piece in the business. There is a difference.
Right.
Okay. So definitely I want to give a huge hug to you, Anthony. And December 5th, I'm going to be on this challenge. And, you know, I'm going to be a VIP, so I'm not going to be paying $47. I refuse to pay that. And for those that are getting into these classes, everything is deductible. My tax man is right here online, right? If you're going for any educational courses, which this is, I need you to make sure that you're keeping receipts of everything that you're doing. If it's an ebook that you purchase, if it's a course that you got into, a challenge like this, make sure that you are documenting that is for your business. You should always be elevating something to better your, to craft. Everything should be a bettering of your business right now. Does anyone have any questions for Anthony? He is a photographer, he is a videographer, he is a coach, and he is a marketer. He is a creator, and he does help individuals make sure that you stay on top of your craft. As busy as you are, you've got to stay on top of that. So if you have any questions for Anthony, make sure you ask it either in the chat or you unmute yourself. Welcome, Steve. We're just wrapping things up. I've got One question I did for you as they're getting themselves together, because obviously we must have hit everything on it, so they're ready to go. The challenge is out there. We've got the challenge for December 5th through the 6th. You guys got that link, okay? You guys got the website also that he dropped inside the chat box.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Interest Insights?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting sites. And then also don't forget, there's other sites that you can go to, even if it's just some stagnant pictures. Go to Unsplash. Go to Unsplash. If you need some photography, go there. All right. It's a free site where you can get free images for your work, your pages. Put a couple of the house pictures together. You can put some pictures. They even have video on there too. So go on to Unsplash, and you can also take a look at some upbeat content. And all you have to do is when you go on to Unsplash, let me show you what that looks like. Ari, what is your industry?
Nails.
Mm-hmm. So let's put in nails, right? All right. So if you go here and you're like, well, I don't have any pictures. This is a free site. And here's some high resolution options you can do. So right here where it says search free photos, I'm just going to put in here nails. As soon as it gets me together. At the top, I should have put like done nails, professionally done nails. What's up, Todd Collins? What's up, sir? So look, you could put some of these together on a reel, right? We're not looking for perfection. You're like, oh, I don't have any clients this today or this week. I didn't take pictures of them. Everything is content. I don't care if you were driving down the road and you got a Dunkin' Donuts cup in your hand and your nails are done. Guess what? It's content. Got it? All right. It's content. But take a look at some of these pages right here. Some of these images right here on Unsplash. Save them. They're free. Save them. Free. Okay. So again, we're not storytelling behind these. Everything. Todd says everything. I'm not driving down the road with my camera out. I'm not being unsafe like that. But I will make it a point. Everything is content. Everything. I'm not doing stupid stuff. I'm not even going to go there. I'm not going to go there. But everything is content. Everything is content. So if this is your industry, then you want to start doing this. And remember, Ari, you're speaking to a woman. She wants to be told a story. She doesn't want to be told how much the nails are. Okay. So you can go through the process of tonight, where is she going? Or, tonight she's stepping out. How do you like? So a lot of those call to actions, you're not putting on your post. I know that. And if you're not putting a call to action, then the person just looks at the information. They're like, okay, that's cute. Next. But if there's a call to action, you got to tell people what to do with your content. If you just took the time to drop it, you want to make sure you're asking, what are your thoughts? Share with 5 people. How did that make you feel? When you get your nails done, how do you feel? So whatever it is, have fun with it. And if it becomes too much of a job for you, reach out to me so I can make sure that I connect you with my social media manager. I'm not even doing my own posting. Like a lot of times those are scheduled out from weeks ago. Some of the things are random, but a lot of times the posts are done strategically and they're already scheduled out weeks ago. Got it? Got it. And then you have time, Ari, to just respond to the post. So let's just say you're looking on your phone and this was a post that was done 2 weeks ago, right? You posted it and now it's going out at 8:30 in the morning. Well, all of a sudden you're getting these likes and you're getting some of these comments at 10 o'clock in the morning and lunchtime. All you need to do is just respond to those posts. You got it? As a business owner, that's what you're looking to do. You did the work weeks ago. Now you can just focus on, okay, let me get rewarded now and respond to these facts that they're looking for. Okay. So Unsplash is another site you all can go to town with. It's free. Enjoy yourself with that. You can use that in still images, or you can create some reels with that. So have fun with that. So are any other questions that you all wanted to just toss out? Anthony, I think you smashed it out. I think you did it. I think you did it. No questions here? Oh, thank you, Todd. If you're in the Baltimore area, let me know. I'm in Maryland as well. We got to connect. What's up, Thoroughbred? All right, awesome. So everything looks good on my end. We are good to go. So I wanted to, do you have any last minute words you wanted to shout out, Anthony?
I would just tell people that the creator created us to create, right? The creator created us to create. Don't forget that, right? Don't forget to create your content. Don't forget to just keep creating, keep crafting, keep doing whatever you feel like. Whatever you like, I say this all the time, that God put He put our dreams and our vision in the greatest nation in the world, right? And that's the imagination. It's because nobody else can touch it but you. Oh. And in business, the best people, like the most successful people in business, is always and, never or, right? So you can do this and this. So if your marketing and whatever you're doing right now is help you get to this point right now, you don't necessarily have to say no to it, but just say and content creation, right? I'm doing this and this. I'm marketing and I'm making free stuff. I'm collaborating with other realtors or other people in my industry, and I'm also doing my own thing. Right. I'm doing all this other stuff, right? So it should always be and, but don't forget, like, you were created to create.
Yes. No limits. No limits. I think we forget that. I like that. So final words from a smart individual. You are in the Florida area. So if anybody's in the Florida area, can they hit you up?
Of course. Of course.
Make sure your IG handle is.
I'm gonna put my IG in it. Yeah, I got you.
There was another page floating around. These scammers are doing the most.
Yeah.
Yeah, we live in the greatest nation. There's no limitations. All right. So find him on IG at Ant
Hardge.
Hardge. HARDGE. Okay.
That's my at on everything, on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Everything is Ant.Hardge.
Okay. Is it a dot?
Yes, a dot.
Okay, my bad. Okay.
You good?
I need my glasses. All right. So find Anthony Hardge, video, photographer, content creator, business owner, and coach, and the developer of the challenge that is coming up on December 5th and 7th, which you all need to be there to up your game. Make sure that you're following him on all social media platforms at ant.hardge, HARDGE. And on that note, I will see you guys very soon. If there's anything I can do as well to help you out with any resources that you need as a real estate agent, as an entrepreneur, to help market and monetize your brand, and make sure that you're coming over to my bio as well. You can find it in here, and we can make sure that we are connecting so we can get you paid and get you out there visually. All right. Don't be scared. You are the creator. You are going to make sure that you are identifying with all of your clients. But people got to know that you even exist. So until the next time, I'll see you guys next week with another topic. Good night. Thank you, Anthony.
Of course. Good night, y'all.